When running an impact organization, people are often querying, where do the donations go? Where is the overhead spread being spent, and how is it being spent? This is a question that I'm happy to address, but it's often a hard and controversial discussion. There are some misnomers out there. Very often numbers like overhead should never be more than 10% or 15% of the donations given, and 85% should always go into the field, or whatever number you might want to choose. I find that a really challenging presumption, because when you look at businesses, if you look at, for example, an airline, or you look at a media company, or you look at a retail business, or you look at an internet business, there's no way you're going to look at all of these businesses and say, hey, your overhead's got to be 10% and no more. You've got to look at the context and the situation. Different businesses, different organizations are going to need different levels of overhead, different type of structures to allow them to run. So why are we plastering all non-profits, charities, NGOs with this same restriction that only X amount can be spent on overhead? If you've got a non-profit doing cancer research versus Project Maji doing water kiosks in the field, our overhead requirements are going to be completely different. And also we have to be responsible in the work that we do. If we're going to be successful and we're going to raise a lot of money, which we have been able to do, and I hope we can raise more, well, we need a good finance function to be able to manage that money properly. We need a really good operations team to make sure we're deploying that really well. We've got to be supervising that really well. So who's going to be paying for this? That money has to come out of the donations that are provided. And often that comes down to really good and clear communication, which is another challenge, because a lot of people question, well, why should a non-profit or impact organization be doing a communications effort? Why should you be advertising or marketing? Well, it's really important for us, first of all, to make sure we are communicating the work that we do, the impact that we make, how we are spending our money to our donors. Being able to communicate that is really, really important, not only for their own satisfaction, but also to enable us to grow. And we want to be able to grow that whole pie. So we could be a certain type of organization, perhaps a small organization, make good impact and run with 10% overhead. Or we could double, triple, quadruple in size or more and make much, much bigger impact. But perhaps our overhead is going to extend beyond 10% of the total donations. It's not binary and it's not black and white. And I'd just like people to be a bit more flexible and understanding in looking at the end of the day, what is the impact organizations are actually making on the ground versus just perhaps a naive metric of what percentage of donations goes towards overhead. Let's be a bit more open about this.